Before we really get started with today's show, I think the entire Browns fan base needs a bit of a morale lift right now, right? Patriots coming up, revenge from last season. Producer Nick Roloff, new to the Chat Sports team. He's a New England fan. Let's give him the bird. Let's hit that thumbs up icon. Kind of raise morale, get some positivity going. The Browns are one win away from being 500. The sky is not falling. Let's go, Browns. All right, we've got a lot to get to today, but first I want to get the injury news to you guys because at the end of the day, that's what most of us are looking for. Jake Trotter from ESPN tweeting out Jadeveon Clowney has every injury under the sun. Ankle, knee, elbow, incoming the Ben Roethlisberger picture of him just iced up head to toe. Denzel Ward, he quietly had a concussion or suffered a concussion during the loss against the Chargers. There was just so much other chaos going on that I feel like that kind of got lost a little bit. We'll see what his availability is for Sunday as we get closer. Joel Petonio dealing with an elbow injury, and Ronnie Harrison, who we'll talk about more later on, is out with an illness today as the Browns begin their week of practice for the Patriots. So here's what we got coming up on today's show. First segment, Dion Jones, the newest member of this Cleveland Browns team. Actually, no, Tyler Davison, defensive tackle, beat him up by a couple hours. But is he playing Sunday? So you might remember that the Browns not only traded for Deion Jones, but they picked up a player who was on IR with the Atlanta Falcons. That IR was always, in my opinion, sort of a stashing you so that we can trade you and you don't get hurt as you recover from surgery. So Jones was at the Browns facility today, his first time since being traded, and the Browns activated him off injured reserve. It is worth noting that the Browns might have been eyeing this trade and just waiting for Terry Fontenot, the GM in Atlanta, to kind of give him the green light of, yep, he is healthy now, so pull the trigger then. Now, Jones is unsure if he'll be ready to go for Week 6 against the Patriots. Zach Jackson from The Athletic tweeting out Deion Jones saying, "Today will just be my first day of practice, and we'll see from there." And honestly, that's somewhat fair and understandable. I don't think he was expected to come in today and give a definitive answer one way or another. And also, healthy or not, this is a new team. Quite often you see players get traded and then not be elevated for that first game they are eligible because they don't know the playbook. They don't know what they're doing on defense. And especially introducing potentially a new green dot, right? The new vocal leader of this defense. Maybe give it a week or two so he can learn the new language of this Cleveland Browns team. Now here's how the linebacker room currently shakes out. One, I just want to give praise to Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He continues to not give enough appreciation. Jacob Phillips and Taki, they have been up and down this year. It's a bummer to see Phillips so quickly lose this job after Walker went down. Another LSU Tiger, and I had high hopes for him. The guy's a freak of an athlete, but ultimately he's getting lost in coverage at times. He's got some slow feet in times, and Andrew Berry decided a move had to be made, and the move is Deion Jones. Last 4 seasons with the Falcons, I don't think have looked like the Deion Jones that the previous regime in Atlanta gave that biggish contract extension to. Last year with Atlanta, just 2 sacks. Now, he's always been one of the better cover linebackers in football. He can run foot for foot with tight ends up the seam. He's got a great track record of tracking down the football while also being very helpful in pass rush, 4.5 sacks back in 2020. So Deion Jones wore 45 down in ATL. Unfortunately for him, that number is retired in Cleveland. So he's going to be rocking 54 for the remainder of the season. And let's give him a warm welcome to the lake. Type 54 down in the comments section below. That way he can already feel the love coming from the dog pound. All right, next up on the show. Could the Browns be looking to trade Ronnie Harrison? We are approaching peak NFL trade rumors and whatnot as that NFL trade deadline is, 3 weeks away? It's creeping up on us, and Ronnie Harrison has been identified as a potential trade candidate for the Cleveland Browns as they are not sellers, but maybe looking to unload some assets that aren't really playing much for them. So, Pro Football Network identified one trade candidate for all 32 teams. And honestly, credit to them for not going the easy way out and picking Dion Johnson, like we all do, because it just feels like he's just going to be an active / special teamer / sit in the bench. Why not get something for the guy? But Ronnie Harrison, this is a newer name. He was re-signed by the Browns this offseason, and here's what Dallas Robinson from Pro Football Network said. Quoting him saying, running back Dion Johnson has been the subject of trade rumors, but the Browns may want to hang on to him now that the rookie running back is on injured reserve. On the other side of the ball, Harrison isn't part of Cleveland's long-term plans. He's played just 75 defensive snaps behind starters John Johnson and Grant Delpit. And Dallas Robinson raises a very good point that we have not seen a terrible amount of 3 safety looks this year where Harrison would be that next guy up. Week 1 against the Panthers, played close to 50% of defensive snaps. Week 5, fast forward to the Chargers, just 30%. Now, the Chargers were running the football a ton. That didn't really call for a lot of 3 safety sets, but still, 27% against the Jets, didn't play against the Steelers, and then week 4 against the Falcons, down to 24%. So now when we look at the safety depth chart here, Grant Delpit and John Johnson manning the 1s and 2s for the safety room. Is this a room where you really want to start unloading assets with how inconsistent this secondary is? It seems like you're going to be flying pretty close to the sun if you want to start trading DBs away when you're already having a lot of difficulties with your current defensive backs. Delpit has been lost in coverage at times, missed assignments. Johnson has had some up and down, some disappearances from time to time. That would leave you with DeAnthony Bell, the UDFA. Richard LeCount got added to the practice squad, so you could bring him back, but I don't think trading away Ronnie Johnson is a wise move right now, given the struggles this defense has had in the secondary. Now, before we get any further in today's show, if you are new to the channel, let me give you a good reason why you should subscribe. We do watch parties every Sunday. I invite you to join us this Sunday against the Patriots. And every time we have a little fun on the show, the dog bowl comes out, and you can watch me, a grown man, drink out of a dog bowl, lap that shit up. So hit that big red button and subscribe if that is the kind of content you are looking for. All right, final segment of today's show. Bill Belichick, Patriots coach, speaking with the media today, talking about his former team, the Cleveland Browns. Yep, we all remember that. And he praised a specific Browns player. I'll tell you who in just a second. But our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS, has just deals on deals on deals for you guys. Get started right now by going to chatsports.com/bet, using promo code Browns125, and that'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. So, what does that mean in English? Let's say you put $100 in. They're going to give you an additional $100 and an additional $25 on top of it. So now you got $225 to play with. And you can bet on the Browns this week against the Patriots. They're 3-point favorites. I'm terrified, honestly, of this game. Bailey Zappi, I don't know if he'll be exposed. And, Myles Garrett will feast, kind of like Justin Fields last year. Or if Bill Belichick is going to roll out another 45-7 beatdown like last season. So make all your picks, nevertheless, at chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Browns125. All right, let's get on to who Bill Belichick was getting a hard-on for. Andrew Siciliano, by the way, the inferior Red Zone host, Scott Hansen. That is the only Red Zone I like. Siciliano sucks. That was really mean. Bill Belichick just said this of David Njoku after Ozzie Newsome. I'm trying to do my best Belichick. After Ozzie, probably the best tight end the Browns have ever had. On to Cincinnati. But it's pretty close. I mean, first off, Njoku's got a long way to go until he gets to Ozzie Newsome level. But so far this year, Njoku's had some big games, especially as of late. And he's been a real blanket for Jacoby Brissett. 24 grabs in 5 games thus far. Nearly 300 yards and just 1 touchdown. Should have been 2. But if you took these numbers and stretched them out for the entire season, it would be career highs by a country mile. Targets, receptions, yards, touchdowns, not so much, just 1 in 5 weeks. But that number could easily pick up as he becomes more of a red zone favorite for Jacoby Brissett. but nearly 1,000 yards he's on pace for, and it feels like he's only getting started. Njoku's got to have one of these. He's got to have one of these big seasons coming off that big contract he got over the offseason from Andrew Berry. And like I said, and Brad Steinberg pointing out, that David Njoku is one receiving touchdown away from the second most by any tight end in franchise history. That would put Njoku at 17, if memory serves me correct, which is 29 spots behind Ozzie Newsome at 46. Did I do my math right there? I think I did. 46 minus 17? You guys can fact check me later. So he's got a long way to go. No doubt about that. But he is looking more and more like the top paid close to tight end he got this offseason. Andrew Berry clearly did not invest a lot of money in Njoku if he didn't have faith, or I wouldn't even say faith, plans of him being a bigger part of this offense moving forward. All right, before we let you guys go here, comment of the day comes from Andrew Herbert. A lot of people also commented some very similar thoughts, so if you commented the same thread, apologies that you're not on screen, but here's what Andrew said. What about Mike Zimmer? He was a good defensive coordinator. Of course, Andrew talking about if Joe Woods gets canned, could Stefanski bring over the former Vikings head coach? And honestly, I would love that. I think Mike Zimmer or Vic Fangio would be awesome. An awesome addition for the Browns here. Now, I want to talk to everyone that's still watching right now because you guys are the real ones, right? You watch all the way through the end of the video, the OGs, the MVPs of the channel. So let me ask just you guys. Should I do a Joe Woods replacement video this upcoming week? Is it too soon to start talking about that? Let me know. Y for yes or N for no. I'm probably going to do it anyway, but I do want to see what you guys have to say. All right, I appreciate everyone for making it to the end of today's video, for clicking on today's video, for making us a part of your day. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. Signing off, I'll see you guys later with more Browns news and rumors.